A couple of years ago, Barrel and Squidger Records released an album that featured not one but two former members of Status Quo, and they are from the golden age. They played on all of the great albums of the 1970s. They were in a band together in the late 80s for a very short time. The album is Alan Lancaster's Bombers Live, recorded at Crow's Nest in Sydney, and it features Alan Lancaster and John Coghlan with Tyrone Coates, Steve Crofts and John Brewster. And John Brewster obviously of the Angels. Now this is before the Bombers album PreAim High, which was released around 1990. So we're hearing a lot of tracks on this album that hadn't been recorded at this stage. They're kind of like early pre-production versions of them, plus a couple of covers here and there. Now obviously we have here City Out of Control, which starts with John Coghlan's booming drums, some amazing drum work at the beginning there. The production on it is pristine. I mean, it's a live recording, right? There's going to be some bits, and there are occasions on the album where it could be better, but they've done an amazing job of restoring this. We have Is This the Way to Say Goodbye, which again is a bit slower than some of the other tracks on the album. However, Ty Coates' vocals on it are amazing, as are his for She's a Mystery, the Lancaster track, obviously. You can hear him occasionally singing backing vocals, and of course he's on bass guitar as well. We have Small Talk, which was an Angels track reinvented here, and then Running in the Shadows, the opening to PreAim High. Really lots of power here, you know, and the mix of that rhythm and lead guitar by Steve Crofts, who at one point on this album has a section all to himself. And as I said, at times the quality could be better, but it pierces through, which is fantastic. We have No Danger, Rising Star, which kind of gives me that stadium vibe, you know. I can hear it and I can kind of imagine them being in a stadium with lots of people screaming. And I think previously it had been performed by the Party Boys. As again, Ty Coates, brilliant vocal on that. PreAim High, which is probably the most Quo-like thing on here. The saxophone from Ty Coates, that chugging lead guitar. It's just a catchy song, right? The album closes with probably one of my favourite Lancaster compositions of all time, Crime Investigator. Why that didn't fare better is... I don't know. You can't help but go, she's a crime investigator. It's amazing. It's catchy, right? It's catchy. I think you release that now, it would probably do quite well. So this album also has another Quo connection, not just Alan Lancaster and John Coghlan, but John Eden as well did some of the mastering on it. And what a job. I mean, it really pops out of the speakers. So obviously, John Coghlan didn't appear on the following album. He'd left the band by then. So it's quite a unique opportunity to hear Lancaster and Coghlan in full flight on this album. It's one of the only live performances, it says on the back here. I think it was a tape that was just sat in Alan Lancaster's, you know, cupboard or garage or something for many a year. So thank you, Alan, for getting that out there. This is the CD version in a cardboard sleeve. It was explained by Jason that this was a time factor, but to be honest, I am glad that we've got it at all. I mean, unfortunately, I didn't get my hands on the record copy. I hope to do that at some point in the future. I'd like to see future releases of the Bombers. I know that there are reissues of their album PreAim High, out there. There's also, actually, now that I think about it, a new version of the Bombers. It's Ty Coates Bombers, and they're currently gigging, and they've just recorded a new album featuring a couple of favourites and lots of new songs as well. The album is called Man Down, and the band features Christina Crofts, the widow of the late Steve Crofts. I haven't heard the album as of yet, but I very much look forward to reviewing it on a future episode of the podcast. Now, to go back to this live album from '89, tell me, what is your favourite track on this album? What were your thoughts? And what would you like to see released from the vaults?